Update 1. My mom called again, saying Jake was upset. She asked if I could just go to keep the peace. I told her I had made my decision. She sighed but didn't push it. Jake hasn't texted me since. I have no idea if he's actually mad or if Emily just told him to ignore me. Either way, I have a bad feeling that this is only the beginning. The morning after I told Jake I wasn't coming to the wedding, I woke up to a missed call from him, then another and another. A few minutes later, my phone buzzed again. This time, a long text. He was hurt, disappointed, and asking if I would reconsider. He didn't understand why I was making such a big deal out of it. He said it was just an NDA, and that he and Emily had put so much effort into planning this wedding. He wanted me there. Before I could even think of how to respond, another message popped up. This one was from Emily. It was long and passive-aggressive. She talked about how she'd welcomed me into her life, how she thought I was better than this, and how she never expected me to be the kind of person who abandoned family over something so small. She said the NDA was just a formality, that plenty of people signed contracts for events, and that it was unfair that I was making Jake suffer just because I didn't like the rules. She ended it by saying that she was so disappointed, but that she hoped I would rethink my priorities before it's too late. I put my phone down. Before I even had time to process all that, my parents called. My mom sounded tired, like she had been up all night thinking about this. She told me that Jake was really upset and that the wedding was a huge deal for him. My dad wasn't saying much in the background, but I could tell he wasn't thrilled about the drama either. My mom asked me to just sign the NDA and come to the wedding for Jake's sake. I told her I wasn't going. Silence, then a sigh. She didn't argue, but I could hear the disappointment in her voice. By midday, the family group chat had turned into a disaster zone. More people were backing out. A cousin posted a message saying they loved Jake but they weren't spending thousands of dollars on a trip just to follow a bunch of strict rules. Someone else chimed in, saying they didn't appreciate being told what they could and couldn't post online. One of my aunts, who is usually the peacekeeper, tried to calm everyone down, but it wasn't working. The chat kept blowing up, then Emily joined in. She sent a long, angry message about how this was supposed to be the happiest time of her and Jake's lives and how it was disgusting that people were making it about themselves. She accused certain family members, no names, but it was clear she was talking about me off starting drama and ruining their special moment. She ended it by saying that real family supports each other no matter what. More people left the chat. Jake called again that night. This time he wasn't just disappointed. He sounded exhausted. He told me that Emily was beyond stressed and that all this trauma was only making it worse. He didn't get why I was making this so difficult. He asked if I could just sign the NDA and come for him, not for Emily. I told him no. The call ended shortly after that. By the next morning, even more guests had dropped out. A cousin sent me a message saying she had privately told Jake she wasn't coming either. Apparently, he didn't take it well. People were backing out left and right, and it was starting to get to him. At that point, I was frustrated, so I did something I don't normally do. I vented on Reddit. I didn't use real names or locations, but I laid out the situation, the expensive wedding, the NDA, the fallout with Jake. I hit post and didn't think much of it, then it blew up. By that evening, the post had thousands of upvotes. People were commenting nonstop, calling the NDA ridiculous and saying Emily sounded controlling. Some said I should be glad I wasn't going. Others called the whole wedding a cash grab. There were even a few people who shared similar experiences, weddings with insane demands, Godzillas who pushed family away. Then the private messages started rolling in. A few distant relatives I hadn't talked to in years reached out. Some had seen the post, some had just heard about the drama through the family. They all had the same thing to say. This whole wedding was out of control, and they were glad someone was standing their ground. But Emily wasn't done. That night, she sent another message. This time she wasn't pretending to be nice. She accused me of always being against her, of never supporting Jake, of trying to tear them apart. She said I had no idea what it was like to plan a wedding of that scale and that I was being selfish by refusing to just go along with it. I ignored it.